Good day everyone, welcome to our video lesson for today. And for now, we will discuss about truth values of propositions. And here are our learning objectives for today. First, construct truth tables of propositions. Second, determine the truth values of propositions. And last, distinguish the proposition as tautology or contradiction. But before we start, now let's have first a review about truth values of um, type of statement. So first, we have here negation. Okay? So, under the negation, okay? So, tandaan lang po no, sa negation, kinukuha natin yung opposite of the given proposition. So, kung yung proposition P natin is a true, so its opposite truth value is false. If our proposition P is false, its opposite is true. That is our negation. Second, let's proceed with this symbol. So, we have here and or for conjunction. Okay? For conjunction, tandaan nyo lang po no, na under the conjunction statements, magkakaroon lang kayo ng true value of proposition if both are true. Okay? Or both propositions are true. Example, if you have true proposition P and true proposition Q, since they are both true, so it has a value of true. Second, if you have true and false proposition, so it is false. Okay, next, if you have false and true, it is false. False and false, it is also false. So again, under this conjunction statements, magkakaroon lang kayo ng true value if they are both true or if the two propositions are true. Next, second, this symbol is for disjunction. Okay? Disjunction or yung connector na gagamitin natin. Now, for P or Q, tandaan niyo po na under disjunction, magkakaroon kayo ng true value sa inclusive disjunction if at least one is true. So again, this is an inclusive disjunction. Okay, yung our symbol, it is for inclusive disjunction. And under inclusive disjunction, magkakaroon lang kayo ng true, true truth value if there's at least one is true. So, example, if you have true or true, since ito ay more than one, so this will, more than one is true, so this is true. Second, true or false. So again, this will be true kasi nga at least one. It means it is one or more true value. Second, if you have false or true, so it is true. Fourth, if you have false or false, it is its truth value is false. So again, this symbol or this table is for disjunction. Let me make this clear, no. So under disjunction, magkakaroon lang kayo ng true truth value if there is at least one is true. Okay? Next. Okay. So now we will proceed with this symbol, and this symbol is for um con conditional statement. Okay, this is for conditional statement or if you have if then connector. Okay, so take note na under conditional statement, magkakaroon lang kayo ng false statement if nagbigay kayo ng true hypothesis then followed by your false conclusion. So doon lang kayo magkakaroon ng false statement. So here, no, if proposition P is true, then proposition Q is true, so it is true. Sorry, it is true. Second, if you have true hypothesis, false conclusion, so this is false. Third, if you have false hypothesis, true conclusion, it is true. So, pwede kayong magkaroon ng false hypothesis pero dapat true yung inyong conclusion. And second, if you have false hypothesis and false conclusion, this is a true statement. Okay? So, that is under conditional statement. Okay? Last, no, this symbol B, if and only if Q, so it is under by conditional statement. Okay? Now, under by conditional statement, magkakaroon lang kayo ng truth value if nasasatisfy ng first proposition and second proposition ang isa't isa. So, it means magkakaroon kayo ng truth value if they are the same. They are both true or they are both false. So, dito, if you have true, if and only if true, so this is true. True, if and only if false, this is false. Third, false, if and only if true, it is false. And last, false, if and only if false, it is true. So again, this is under by conditional statement. So under by conditional statement, magkakaroon kayo ng truth value if they are both the same. Okay? So, ito lang yung recall or kailangan nating i-recall no, before we proceed to constructing truth table of values. Okay? Now, Now, the truth value and truth table, okay? The truth value therefore refers to the truthfulness of a proposition that may either be true or false. This can be represented in tabular form. Table that shows the complete to possible truth values of a proposition is called truth table. The truth table displays the relationship between the possible truth values of the propositions. It is listing of all possible combinations of the individual statements as true or false, along with the resulting truth value of the compound statements. Truth values are in aid in distinguishing valid and invalid arguments. So again, no, you can use this topic in your real life situations. If you having an arguments, no, you can validate or invalidate those arguments. So therefore, no, hindi lahat ng maririnig natin ay papaniwalaan natin. So you can use this topic para mas maging critical listener tayo. Okay? Now, there are classes of compound statements in a truth table. So first, we have tautology, second, contradiction or fallacy, and last is contingency. Now, under that, now the tautology, it is a compound statement that is true for all possible combinations of the truth values of the propositional variable, also called logically true. So sa tautology, no, if you have a truth table, so yung last column nyo, dapat ay true lahat yung outcome. Okay, dapat lahat ay true to make it tautology. Now next, we have contradiction or fallacy. It is a compound statement that is false or all possible combinations of the truth values of the propositional variable, also called logical false or absurdity. So, under contradiction or fallacy, no, sa truth table ninyo, lahat nung nasa last column ng inyong truth table, dapat lahat sila ay false. Okay? Para maging contradiction or fallacy yung inyong statement. Now, next, we have contingency. It is a compound statement that can be either true or false. Again, it is either true or false, depending on the truth values of the propositional variables are neither a tautology nor a contradiction. Ibig sabihin, hindi siya tautology at the same time, hindi rin siya contradiction. So kapag titignan niyo ito sa inyong truth table, yung pinaka-last column ng table ninyo ay combination of true and false. So it means nag-occur both true and false. So that will be contingency. Now, if you are asking, paano naman kung isa lang naman yung true, then the rest is false? So, since meron pa rin siyang true, combination of true and false yun, no, ito po ay papasok under the contingency statement or type of compound statement. So, that is contingency. Okay, now let's proceed. Now, in constructing truth tables, there are steps that we need to follow. First, recall dominant connectives and the use of parentheses, then determine if the result is a conjunction, disjunction, or negation. Okay? Sa dominant connectives natin, tandaan nyo po, no, meron tayo ditong um, ginagamit, no, na from strongest or ranking from strongest connectives up to weakest connectives. So, ano-ano ba yung mga yon? Okay? So, tandaan nyo po, ang strongest natin sa ating logical connectives ay biconditional. Okay? Followed by conditional statement. Then, next, yung pang third natin, equal or equal lang yung power, no? Or yung power ng conjunction and disjunction. Okay? So again, no, si conjunction and disjunction, equal lang sila ng power. It means kahit sino sa kanilang dalawa ang pwedeng yung unahin. Basta you need to perform it from left to right. Kung sino mauuna from left to right, siya yung first na ipe-perform ninyo. Now, yung pinaka-weakest logical connectives natin ay ang negation. Ito yung pinaka-weak na logical connector natin. Okay? So again, strongest is biconditional, followed by conditional. Third, equal si conjunction and disjunction. And last, we have negation. Okay? Now, letter B, complete the columns under the simple statements. So dito, from simple statement, papunta kayo sa complex statement. Okay? So, una nyo ipe-perform yung simple statement. Second, the connectives negation inside the parentheses. Third, any remaining statements and their negations. Then fourth, any remaining connectives reaching the final column as determined in step number 1. Okay, tandaan nyo po, no, na kapag nagko-construct tayo ng truth tables, para lang din kayo perform ng PEMDAS rule. So, you need to perform first yung nasa loob ng ating grouping symbol or nasa loob ng parentheses. Okay, next, number of the columns in the order they are completed and highlight the column containing the final answer. So the truth table of compound proposition of n component statements, each represented by a different letter, has 2 raised to n number of rows. For example, a compound proposition with 2 different letters or 2 propositions, it has a 2 raised to 2 or 4 rows, 4 possible combinations. Okay? So, yung 2 natin dito, yung first 2, ito po yung possible outcome natin na true and false. Okay? True and false. Now, yung second 2 natin dito, ito naman is yung number of propositions that we have. Kung ang given is 2 proposition lang, raised to 2 lang. But if the given has a true proposition, magiging 3, raised to 3. Kaya 2 raised to 3 will be 8 combinations. So if you have 8 combinations, so therefore you will have a 8 rows on our table. Okay, now let's proceed with this example. So this time, no, mag-create na tayo ng truth table natin. So let P and Q be propositions. Construct the truth table of the compound proposition. Okay, if P, then Q. And if Q, then P. Okay, So dito, no, kung mapapansin natin, okay, if we are going to analyze this given, meron tayo ditong two groups. Okay, we have here two groups. First group, yung nasa loob ng first grouping symbol, separated by this symbol, yung and or conjunction natin. Then, yung second group natin, we have this group. Okay, so first, we have this one, proposition P and proposition Q. So let us write the combinations, no, for this. So we have true, 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 false, false, true, and last we have false and false. So since two propositions lang yung meron tayo, proposition Q and P, kaya meron lang tayong four combinations or four rows. Okay? Now, in performing this, no, you are going to perform this symbol, no, from left to right. So, unahin natin yung first group natin. So, that will be if P, then Q. Okay? If P, then Q. Take note, so ito po ay conditional statements. Under conditional statement, magkakaroon lang kayo ng false statement. If you have a true hypothesis, then false conclusion. Okay, so if you have true, if true, then true, so it is true. If true, then false. So this is false. True yung hypothesis mo, false naman yung conclusion mo. So that will be false. Next, false hypothesis, true conclusion. So that is true. False hypothesis, false conclusion. That is also true. Okay, we are now done with our first group. Now, followed by end connector. But before we proceed on this, no, before we perform this connector, kailangan muna nating i-perform yung second group. Okay? Now, perform natin yung second group. We have if Q, then P. Okay? If Q, then P. So, this time naman, no? So, yung symbol natin dito is if then statement or conditional statement pa rin, no? So, but this time, ang hypothesis natin is si Q, preposition. And yung ating conclusion is si P, proposition. So, dito tayo magbe-base kay Q, then yung conclusion si P. So, dito, we have true hypothesis, true conclusion, so that is true. False hypothesis, true conclusion, that is true. True hypothesis, false conclusion, so that is false. And last, we have false hypothesis, false conclusion, so that is true. Okay, now we are done on our first and second group. Now this time, since nakuha na natin yung two groups na meron tayo, we can now perform this logical connector and. Okay, so let's perform that. So if P, then Q, and if Q, then P. Okay? Wait na. Let me erase that one. Okay? If Q, then P. Okay? Now, this time, no, dito na tayo sa column na ito, pati sa column na ito, magbe-base. And yung logical connector natin is and or conjunction. Now, under conjunction, magkakaroon lang kayo ng truth value if they are both true. Okay? If they are both true. So, if we have true and true, so that is true. False and true, that is false. True and false, that is false. And last, we have true and true, so that will be true. So now, as you can see on this column, no, dito, it is combination of true and false. So we have true, false, false, and true. So it means, no, nag-combine yung or nag-occur both true and false. So therefore, this truth table is contingency. Contingency. Okay? Contingency siya kasi nag-occur yung both true and false. So this is our first example on creating or constructing truth table of compound proposition. Okay? So, ang tip ko lang sa inyo, no, kailangan yung i-recall or tandaan yung mga rules, no, ng mga truth values natin. Kailan tayo magkakaroon ng true and kung kailan tayo magkakaroon ng false truth value. Okay? Under the type of statements like negation, conjunction, disjunction, conditional, and biconditional statement. Okay? Next, let's proceed with this another example. So let P and Q be proposition. Determine the truth values of um, P and not Q and P not P and Q. Okay? So again, meron lang tayo ditong two proposition, proposition P and proposition Q. Okay? So again, we create lang tayo ng table for proposition P and proposition Q. So yung combination natin, we have true and true, true and false, false and true, and last we have false and false. Okay? Next, ayan, analyze natin yung given, no? So dito, may yung first group natin, we have here two groups. First group and second group. Now, tandaan niyo po, no? Now, we are going to perform this from left to right. Now, on our first group, kung mapapansin nyo, yung Q natin is negated. So, it means kailangan muna natin kuhanin yung negation of Q. Okay? Negation of Q muna tayo. Now, under negation of Q, okay? Under negation of Q, kukuhanin lang natin yung opposite ng proposition Q. So, if it is true, so that will be false. If it is false, that will be true. So, if it is true, that is false. And if it is false, that will be true. Kinuha natin yung opposite, no, ng ating Q proposition. So, next, so we are done by getting our negation of Q. Now, we can now perform yung logical connector na AND by having P and not Q. Okay? P and not Q. So this time, okay, magbe-base na tayo dito kay P proposition and kay negation of Q. Sa dalawang column na ito, tayo magbe-base. Okay? And yung logical connector natin is AND. And under conjunction or AND connector, magkakaroon lang tayo ng true proposition if they are both true. Okay? So let's start. If we have true and false, so that will be false. If we have true and true, that is true. If you have false and false, that will be false. And if you have false and true, that is false. Okay? So we are done on our first group. Okay? Now, followed by AND connector. Now, before tayo mag-proceed kay AND, no? Before tayo mag-proceed kay AND, perform muna natin yung ating second group. And ano ba yung second group natin? We have P and okay, P and Q. Okay? P and Q. Now, so again, no, this is conjunction. So magkakaroon lang tayo ng true if they are both true. So this time kay P, kay proposition P and proposition Q tayo magbe-base. So if you have true and true, so that is true. If you have true and false, that will be false. If you have false and true, that is false. And if you have false and false, that is also false. Okay? Now, we are done on our second group. Okay? Now, pwede na nating i-perform yung ating logical connector na AND, no? And dito na tayo magbe-base sa dalawang group natin. On this column and on this column. So, perform na natin yung P and not Q, and P, and Q. Okay? So again, dito tayo sa two columns na ito magbe-base. So we have here if and yung logical connector natin is uh, conjunction, this one. Okay, yung conjunction natin. So if you have false and true, that will be false. If you have true and false, that is false. If you have false and false, that is false. And if you have false and false, that is false. So again, this is conjunction. Magkakaroon lang kasi tayo ng true truth value if they are both true. So wala naman kasi sa kanilang both ay true, kaya ay ito po, lahat yung sa last column natin is false. And alam naman natin na kung false yung ating lahat ng outcomes on our truth table, so it is a fallacy or contradiction. Contradiction. Okay? So, that's how will you create or construct truth table. So again, no, some tips on performing this or constructing truth table. First, dapat alam mo kung ano yung goal mo or alin yung first na ipe-perform mo. So again, you need to start by per group from left to right. Okay? And also, i-perform yung dominant connectives natin. And another tip, make sure that you know all the rules no on different type of statements, kung kailan magkakaroon ng truth value and kung kailan kayo magkakaroon ng false truth value. So I hope this video may help you no to understand this topic. So for now, hanggang dito na lang muna yung discussion natin for this topic or constructing truth table. So that's all for today and have a nice